Oh man. Um, I'm having this kind of part time in my life where I realize how little my existence and consciousness actually matters in the big scheme of things. The big scheme of things being like my existence in my body, in my town, in this state, in this country, on this planet, amongst many other planets, amongst many other galaxies, universes, Milky Ways. It's almost like I don't know if it even ends. Like it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger to the point where it's like, well, like, does anything matter? Does anything even matter? I don't know. I really don't know. Either way, we're gonna react to some clips right now. Sports betting clips. I'm gonna pull up my stream right now on my phone just in case someone does decide to join up in chat. Otherwise, okay. We'll do recent ones just so we're not seeing stuff that we. Okay, never mind. I can't even do that on PC. Or can I? No, I can't.
Parlay's hitting today. Why is it hitting today? Because you're not going to do nothing stupid. You're not going to put more than 5 legs on it. You're not going to do a plus 20,000. You're going to keep it calm, but you're going to hit. That's at the end of the day that what matters the most. You're getting to the green. Parlay's hitting today. Why is it hitting today? Because you're not going to do nothing stupid. You're not.
This is the thing. I'm trying to understand content a little better, but this content really brought no value. He didn't say anything that was informative. He didn't say anything that was like funny, really, either. He just is saying something with passion that people can somewhat understand and or maybe relate to. Like he's saying something that it has an audience. Some people do. I don't know. It has an audience for sure, but it's just like it feels like brain dead, degenerate betting TikTok. That's all it is.
I hate seeing people complain about losing a bet
Oh man,
and they bet only
I already
five
made a
dollars.
video on this.
Like, bro, if you don't shut the hell up, I just lost my paycheck. You understand what I'm saying? 1,200 down the drain, 1,500 gone. I'm losing stimmies, and you losing loose change. Get the fuck. I hate seeing.
Like this video, I before I even take it seriously, I understand that it is a joke. I know that it's supposed to be funny. It's for shock value. But anybody that takes this seriously knows that this is just BS. Anybody that takes betting seriously understands that this is just a bunch of BS. It doesn't matter the amount. It's all about bankroll management. If your bankroll is low, your unit is going to be low. It's just math. And you should have a bankroll. If you're going through your entire bankroll every day, every week, every month, then you're doing something wrong. You should never be going through your bankroll. That should be a one-time deposit that you build upon. And you might add on to, but you should never be doing it because you have to. It should be because you're choosing to.
When you been on MLB, make sure you go on to covers.com and paying attention to how well these teams are doing against a left-handed and right-handed pitcher. Make sure you go on to MLB.com and seeing how well these hitters are performing against this pitcher. See what hitters has has seen this picture already. See how many at bats he has. See how many hits he has. See how many home runs he have. I mean, you want to stay away from teams that's at the bottom of OBP. You want to bet with the teams that's at the top of OBP. That's your on base percentage. I mean, you want to stay away from teams that's at the bottom of OPS. Bet with the teams that's at the top of the OPS. I like.
Okay, this guy is saying a whole bunch of yap. He's got some. He's doing something, but it's not doing a whole lot. And I see this guy Drippy here that just said you got cord. He's asking if he's got a Discord. May I ask a question? Like, is it not already factored in? You're telling me, go look at this website. Go take a look at this website for this. Go look at another website for another reason. Like, tell me why I shouldn't believe that they haven't already looked at everything. As in the books, the market makers. They have not already looked at these things. The people, the market makers, these sharp people who make money on sports betting, they haven't looked at these things, put their money on it, and moved the line already, the one that you're looking at? I'm just asking. If you're going to be creating some sort, if you're trying to gain an edge against the books, the market statistically, you have to think outside of the box and look at things that they're not already looking at. If you're saying the obvious, it's already considered. And if it's something that's a little more advanced, then assume that the hundreds, maybe thousands, a small group of people, the sharp bettors, the people who've made money in these markets, have already considered that and moved the line. Meaning they've placed a large amount of money that has made the books adjust the line accordingly. I used to be the same way and look at stats, but you have to realize that it doesn't matter. None of it matters.
Swept again! Shout out Jalen Brunson, Joel Embiid, and Donovan Clingan. We're on a generational run, so before we get into the picks, if you guys are interested in the full breakdown,
We did it, boys. Paul.
Here are the
Me lie on God's name? Never that, nigga. I told y'all there was no way this fuck ass team was gonna beat the Bucks. Y'all heard LeBron talking shit about Memphis. It's ass. I ain't gonna lie, 1,000 likes is crazy. On God himself.
If sports betting is so easy and these cappers got all the picks that they always hit on, why charge people? Why couldn't you make money, he make money, everybody make money with just the picks they putting out? That's what I'm telling y'all, they full of shit. All these people cap. Like, everybody will say they selling picks and it's guaranteed. If you're a real sports bettor, you know, even the best pick ain't guaranteed to hit. Stop buying all. I'm not talking about people who want to join a Discord and you pay $5 a month and they give you real good information. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people who join a Discord, pay $300 for a lifetime membership, and barely hit 3 or 4 picks every day. Who barely don't even hit. Like, y'all know it's a bunch of people selling picks on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, which don't matter. Get your hustle, but you ain't really making no money. If your pick's really good, you don't have to sell them. You eat, they eat, everybody eat. So to the new bettors out there, please stop getting scammed. You can't sell a service that's not guaranteed. Stop buying picks.
One way that we can limit the amount of BS that goes on with sports betting and Discords, I would say, is almost have it as like a industry standard that if you are going to be selling picks, you have to publicly present your pickets results month to month. I'm all for people taking accountability for their actions. If you're someone who signed up for a betting course or whatever, or to buy picks, it was a stupid decision. And you need to take accountability for that. It's not their fault for selling it. It's your fault for buying it. But us as the informed people, this guy, he seems to know a little bit about what he's talking about. We should do our best to make a standard for the industry that people who sell picks have to be transparent. Because the reality is, it turns more into the business of like content creation and marketing than it actually is of bringing value in picks. You'll see more like effort in production and creating ads and this brand around a profitable bettor as you are actually putting effort in towards creating profitable picks. And that's where things get really messy and stupid and people get taken advantage of. It's rough. But again, I don't have sympathy for these stupid people who buy the picks. But it's also like, fuck those people who are taking advantage of them. Because it's still fucked, you know?
Damn, life's so short. Fuck it. I don't wanna go to court. Fuck it. Got a budget for the lawyer though. Fuck it. Damn, life's so short. Fuck it.
I am putting 33,000. I hate when people be like, I don't got money to gamble, but you just bought a bottle of liquor? You mean to tell me you couldn't go to the casino where they're gonna give you free liquor and then you can flip your money, but you're gonna buy a bottle of Don and go home and just what, play video
The casino gives free liquor? I don't know that. Doesn't matter, but.
You ready for some? You ready for some hot shit?
Let's see.
I recognize this guy from those eating videos.
You ready for some hot shit?
Let's see.
Is this the same guy? This has to be the same guy, right? How's he doing though?
I lost all my money sports betting, so now I'm at McDonald's for a job interview because Victor Wembanyama can't hit fucking 3 threes. Bum ass. How much do you guys like pay?
It depends on your availability.
I just can't work weekends, like Saturday and Sunday. There'd be like a lot of NFL games on, so I like to watch those and I like bet on sports sometimes.
What about Thursday night football?
I be watching Thursday night. I almost won like 500 last night, but
Oh.
Green Bay didn't win, so.
Oh wow, who they play?
Detroit. My money management's not too good, so I was like gambling recently on sports. Lost like a lot of money. So that's why I need like a job now. And almost had to like sell my car. I lost like 6,000 on sports betting, so it was really bad.
How do I go back?
You ready for some hot shit?
Let's see.
I couldn't really slime though.
Dude, this is not sports betting. Bulletproof. The phrase is associated with behavior content. Are you? I was. Dude. I was literally just looking at stuff. And you're supposed to tell me that it's gone already? Huh? Dude. Is it getting banned in like real time? No, it's not. This is. I get mad easy because I work a full-time job and it drains my brain. Don't judge me.
The NBA, the MLB, NFL, whatever sport you bet on, it's not rigged. Just because you lost the bet doesn't mean it's rigged. All it means is that you fucking suck and you need to be better. The worst part is that people that sell picks love to say it's rigged whenever they lose their plays. That way their subscribers can feel a little better about it. And they can be like, yeah, bro, no, you just fucking suck. That's all that's going on here. And you're losing better. You have never won in your life. You'll never make profit in your life. So the only way that you can cope is by saying that it's rigged. The NBA. The
Pretty much right.
I hate seeing people complain about losing.
I heard it's on God.
Here are the
Alright, we're seeing a lot of the same ones. This guy's everywhere, bro. Holy.
Sports betting is only considered gambling if you make it gambling. But the problem is that when you go to place your bet that day, there's 100 different ways you can gamble, and there's only one way you can trade. After being a degenerate gambler for 4 years, this is what I learned. When you apply yourself to thinking like a hedge fund trader, that's when you will finally win. Placing a 3-leg parlay is gambling. Chasing bets is gambling. Not having self-discipline and bankroll management is gambling. I can name 1,000 more. Live betting is the only way you will ever have an edge to the
Bullshit. Bullshit. Look, everybody can have their ways of doing things. You know, I can enjoy the way my hair looks by a curling iron. You know, if I use a curling iron, I'm not using a curling iron. But if I used a curling iron and I liked the way that it came out and it worked for me, that does not mean that it's going to work for everyone else. And that's the only way that you should be able to do your hair correctly. That's the only correct way of doing your hair. It's bullshit. With betting, everyone has their models, everyone has their systems. There's only a small group of people who are actually profitable. But I'm going to tell you this 100% guaranteed. People are making money off of parlays long term. People are making money off of pregame picks long term. It does not have to be just live betting. Yes, this guy might have a good system. He might have a profitable system. But to be I think arrogant might be the word, arrogant enough to make a statement saying that this is the only way, it just shows your lack of, or to go back to arrogance, you're just wrong. And you posted this piece of content, which you have free will to do so, but 5,000 people just saw this and walked away, maybe thinking that you're right. So you're just spreading false information. This is content, though. You know what I mean? It's just content.
If you would have told me the only sports betting strategies that will continue to work in 2026 are going to bore the shit out of you. Here's why, all right? When you have fun sports betting, when you have fun gambling, it's not because you're winning. It's not because of the thrill, the dopamine. It's actually a chemical that your brain releases when you lose. When you win, when you hit your parlay, when your parlay cashes, your brain doesn't release that chemical. But the chemical that releases when you lose, when your slip chalks, is actually very, very addictive. And hence, the reason why you have so much fun gambling is because you're addicted to losing. So the sports betting strategies that guarantee you success, positive EV, arbitrage sports betting, these things are going to be very, very boring because yes, you're going to constantly be winning, but you're not going to get the same thrill as hammering down 6-leg parlays, 7-leg parlays. So to those of you that are actually in sports betting, looking to make money and looking to be profitable, you have to expect it to be boring going into the new year. Because let's be honest, sports betting is really just gambling if you're doing it like everybody else. But if you want to start doing it correctly, if you want to start making money, you have to start treating it like an investment, right? Think smarter, not harder. The only sports betting strategies that will continue to work in 2026 are going to bore the shit out of you. Here's why, all right? When you have fun sports betting, when you have fun gambling, it's not because you're winning. It's not because of the thrill, the dopamine. It's actually a chemical that your brain releases when you lose. When you win, when you hit your parlay, when your parlay cashes, your brain doesn't release that chemical. But the chemical that releases when you lose, when your slip chalks, is actually very, very addictive. And hence, the reason why you have so much fun gambling is because you're addicted to losing. So the sports betting strategies that guarantee you success, positive EV, arbitrage sports betting, these things are going to be very, very boring because yes, you're going to constantly be winning, but you're not going to get the same thrill as hammering down 6-leg parlays, 7-leg parlays. So to those of you that are actually in sports betting, looking to make money and looking to be profitable, you have to expect it to be boring going into the new year. Because let's be honest,
I'm not going to say that that's wrong because I don't know. But I also can't really necessarily say that that's right because I don't know. I don't know. I don't really have much to say. This guy's, if that's true, is a lot more advanced than I am. I like this guy's content, though. He seems to know what he's talking about.
You ready for some? I ain't gonna lie, I had to take a break for the sports betting shit. Like, nigga, I don't know what I was playing on. It insane, all Madden, Hall of Fame. Like, nigga, this shit was getting wicked.
I don't know if evolution is the right word for this, but it's with most things. It's with sports, with anything, with Fortnite, with Rocket League. The longer it's out, the better people are going to get, and the harder it's going to be for the average person to see success. In Fortnite, when it was new to everyone, you had almost everyone had a chance of winning. Yes, some of the people with prior experience, skills related to it, if they were playing a lot of shooter games before, they had advantages compared to like people who played Minecraft or didn't play anything at all. But everyone kind of had a small chance of winning. But now, Fortnite, it's almost like if you don't play it as much as people in your lobbies do, you're just not going to be competitive whatsoever. It's just the progression and time and understanding and learning how things work and perfecting it. Books and betting have worked or been in business for so long now, especially online ones and apps like the DFS, now prediction markets, and all the sports books have been alive for so long now. Again, I don't know how long, but it's been a while to the point where they're figuring things out. You know, it's not like rocket science and they're figuring out like whole new theories, but they're just getting better. Books are getting sharper. They're learning how to adjust their lines faster. They're getting better sources. Just like how people are getting better at Fortnite. And the window for you getting a win in Fortnite now with against actual real players is slimmer. I know now it's a bad example because Fortnite's full of bots, but if you're in like a ranked game, your chances of winning is probably close to zero if you don't play it as much as the people do. And so your chances of actually being profitable long term is almost zero when you don't really know what you're doing or taking this seriously to like almost a professional level in sports betting. It is going to be on Hall of Fame and it's going to get harder. It's not going to get any easier. It's not going to get any easier. So if you're wanting something on easy mode, you're kind of going to have to wait for the next big thing to come out. New thing.
VJ Edgecombe was rookie of the year, bro. I don't care that Coop had 50. I don't care that Concanopoulos shoots 253s and broke Steph record. No, they're not better players than VJ Edgecombe. He played both sides of the ball. He rebound. He's getting assists.
The most money I ever lost in one day was $3,000.
When you gonna start coming to a realization that paying for somebody's premium for these sports betting plays is not a bad idea? Cause your ass ain't hitting 2-3 weeks. You over here tossing all your damn lunch money on legs and that shit is not hitting. You know why? Cause this shit is oversaturated now. And the best premium I done ever ran into, and I've been in a lot because I do promos for a lot of people, but the best premium I done ever ran into is official picks. No cap. I'll link them in the shit or whatever the fuck, but just keep that in mind. But I say that to say, bro, sports betting is oversaturated.
This is funny.
Everybody is sports betting, gang.
This guy's talking real serious, but I just saw this guy saying this comment. Paying a ninja to guess what another ninja's gonna do is funny. That is funny. Shout out to this guy.
When you gonna start coming to a realization that paying for somebody's premium for these sports betting plays is not a bad idea? Cause your ass ain't hitting 2-3 weeks. You over here tossing all your damn lunch money on legs and that shit is not hitting. You know why? Cause this shit is oversaturated now. And the best premium I done ever ran into.
All right. That's enough time on TikToks. You got 0 comments, 0 viewers, but that's part of the plan, right? Because I'm going to turn this into short form content and then I'm going to post it for a couple days. I'm going to promote, pick it, and such, whatever. Pick it. Okay. One thing I want to do right now is I want to edit the stream. Can I do that? Close. Stream settings. Edit. Finding new betting tool. In Cali. Tool. Bang. All right. Okay. Let's just check the picket. See how everything is going. That one doesn't look good. He's probably gonna miss that. It's a blowout. That one looks horrible. This one looks good. This one's gonna hit. This one's probably going to hit. That one looks good. That one looks okay. Still gonna probably potentially profit today. As long as I hit this one, which is looking good, then I still profit. I think $1 minimum. This one probably won't hit, just statistically, so whatever. All right, I need to find a new betting tool. So me and AI are going to try to figure this out. How can you be profitable long term in sports betting in California, leveraging all places to wager on? Offshore, DFS, and prediction markets. And I hope the AI is going to talk to me about it. Long-term profitability calculation relies on strict bankroll management, exploiting prediction markets, and avoiding unregulated offshore risks. Since state-regulated sportsbooks are illegal in California, the most viable legal paths to real money wagering on federal regulated prediction markets like cali, poly market, and daily fantasy. While offshore sportsbooks and sweepstakes sites carry significant legal and financial risks. Okay, I read that really weirdly. Profitability strategies by platform. Prediction markets. These platforms, regulated by CFTC, allows users to buy and sell contracts on sports outcomes. Profitability is achieved by trading positions to lock in profits or cut losses before an event settles. Rather than holding bets to end, unlike sportsbooks that can charge a big margin, prediction markets charge transaction fees, meaning the house edge is lower and profits come from trading against other users based on supply and demand. Daily fantasy sports. While 2025 Attorney General opinion suggested these might constitute illegal sports wagering, they remain widely available in a legal gray area to profitable long-term bettors. Data-driven models and treat DFS as skill-based rather than gambling, focusing on building lineup while positive expected value against the field. I kind of just rambled that one. Offshore sports books, high risk. Many Californians use offshore books, Bovada, BetUS, to access traditional betting markets like money lines, spreads. However, these sites are unregulated and lack consumer protections. While they offer competitive odds and bonuses, there is no guarantee of payouts of these sites' accounts or delays, withdrawals, making long-term profitability precarious. Bankroll management. Regardless of the platform, sustainable profits requires betting 1 to 5% of your bankroll per wager and avoiding chasing losses. Professional bettors typically aim for 5 to 10% ROI over time, which demands deep knowledge of specific market discipline during losing, streaks, and using flat betting strategies rather than increasing stakes after wins or losses. Okay, it talks about the platforms. Offshore books and sweepstakes models now banned in California as of January 1st, 2026 are not recommended for long-term success due to the lack of legal resource and regulatory oversight. Sustainable path for California better is to treat prediction markets as a financial trading platform using data analysis to identify mispriced contracts while maintaining a conservative bankroll to survive the variance. So how exactly do I find good bets? I should say find long-term profitable bets in California. You must focus on identifying and exploiting market efficiencies across legal platforms. A traditional sports book are not permitted in the state. Identify your edge in legal markets. Prediction markets. These are your primary tools for long-term profit. Since these platforms are user-driven exchanges, prices are set by supply and demand, not a house with a built edge. Profitability comes from finding mispriced contracts. For example, if you determine a team has a 60% chance to win, but the market price is at 50%, 50 cents, buying that contract offers positive expected value cross-market arbitrage where platforms like cali, poly market agree on a price by 3 to 5% is a current opportunity. Though it requires accounts on multiple sites. DFS. While operating in a legal gray area, these platforms often offer better payout multipliers than traditional parlays. For instance, two pick entry 3x payouts plus 300, which is more favorable than a 264 sportsbook that would offer the same parlay. Your edge comes from superior player projection models that outperform public consensus. Okay. Data and tools. Use analytics platforms like Dimers, BetQL to access data-driven models. Use analytic platforms like Dimers, BetQL to access data-driven models that calculate true probability and identity plus EV opportunities. The goal is to find small, consistent edges like 1 to 2% advantage that compound over high volume bets. Execute with discipline. Finding the edge is only half the battle. Long-term success requires strict bankroll management and emotional discipline to avoid changing losses. Treat your betting as a trading business, not a hobby. Focus on the process of making EV decisions over time, not individual wins or losses. Dimers. Let's take a look at this one. Let's see what AI's got. Dimers.
Today we're going to talk about Dimers, a sports betting data site that has over 10 million users and provides them with up-to-date info on every major sport. I want to walk you through some of the most helpful and practical tools on this site so you can decide if it's right for you. The point of this video, like all my videos, is to inform you, not to sell you a product. And the good thing about Dimers is they do offer a completely free version so you can try it out for yourself with zero commitment. So let's look at it, shall we? And because I said this is not a sales pitch, I took off my jacket. I was getting warm. I am not someone who likes to sell people a product. I like to talk naturally to you, human to human, and that's what I'm going to do in this video. So it's not going to be overly edited. It's not going to be bang, bang, boom, bop, bow, like Kendrick said in his newest song. It's just going to be me and you having a conversation about Dimers and Dimers Pro potentially. So the first thing is Dimers Basic is free. You just create an account, you use your email, you sign up, and you get access to the site. Now, I will tell you it's a little bit limited. You only get 3 best bets per day, 3 props per day, 3 trends per day, but it is free. You have nothing to lose, and I would recommend trying it out for free if this video interests you, okay? The second thing is they do offer a paid plan. It's called Dimers Pro, and you get an unlimited access to their site. Here is what you can expect to pay for Dimers Pro. If you want to try it out for 1 week, it's $15.
I've been in a course that was $200.
$30, and if you want to try it out for a
This is not bad whatsoever. Like I said, I joined unabated, $200 a month. I'm not saying it was bad because I don't really know. I don't know what the price is worth. I don't know how much work you're doing behind the scenes, but it was like, this doesn't look bad. So let's see how it is.
year, you do pay for the year up front, but you get it at a cost of $25 per month, guys. That's not $25 per year. That would be a crazy steal, and you'd go sign up tonight. No, you're getting a $5 discount when you choose the yearly plan over the monthly plan. They also have various sales from time to time, so I would recommend checking those out and seeing if you can't save even more money. But again, it gives you unlimited access to their entire site. Let's talk about it. First thing, baby, the first thing we'll talk about is the trends feature. If you are a sports bettor, you probably love trends, and I've said on this channel before, trends don't always tell the whole story. Context is important, and I would hope that you approach this tool with the ability to have that nuance and that context. So a trend is just a reoccurring pattern that happens in a league. So for this example, we're going to be looking at the NBA, but this can happen in all major professional sports. The coolest thing that I like about this is it compares the trends not only to the historical box scores, but it also compares it to the current bookmakers' odds. So you can see down here for tonight's Milwaukee versus Atlanta game, Clint Capella has recorded an assist in 15 of his last 16 appearances, 94% of games. That's minus 1,500 odds. What would be fair odds? But they're giving it to you on Bet365 for minus 180. So Dimers is identifying that this trend has hit consistently this year, and the odds do not reflect that.
That's just a hit
Another
rate,
example,
though.
Jaden Ivey has recorded more than 3.5 assists in 8 of his last 10. That's an 80% hit rate, which would give fair odds of minus 400. You can get the over at minus 125. Now, again, the context is important. There's a potential that Cade Cunningham was out for a few games, and so Jaden Ivey had more of a distributor role than he was used to, and that's why his statistics are inflated. This site is not going to necessarily give you all that information. So I would tell you, as a smart sports bettor, it would be useful for you to walk in with a little bit of an understanding before you just blindly trust these trends. A cool thing within these trends is the ability to filter them. So for this example over here on your right, I have sorted by Pacers and Nets, and I've sorted by total points scored. And it's given me 6 possible bets based on current trends from this season. The best one, the 4.5 star one, that's another cool feature. They have stars based on how reliable or good they are. Pascal Siakam has scored more than 20.5 points in 70% of his games, or 7 of his last 10 appearances. You can get that for FanDuel at minus 104. I know a lot of people go through box scores when they're sports betting and just look and see, okay, Siakam has hit that total and set, right? This makes it really easy to just come to the website and it sorts it out for you, so you don't have to comb through all of the box scores. Now, if you want it to be even easier, the second thing we're going to talk about is best bets. If you're someone who doesn't want to comb through anything, not even the trends, and come to your own conclusions, you can look no further than the best bets feature on this site. They use models to simulate 10,000 different occurrences of the game, with the weather, with the injuries, with the data, with the statistics, prop bets, money lines, you name it, to come out with predictions in these games. So, for example, the Magic to win tonight, they give it a probability of 64.5%, which is an edge of 2.3% if you take it on Caesars at minus 164. Another example, or 4 examples from tonight, you see our Magic example down here. Here are some other ones. I filtered it by the edge score, so their highest edge bet tonight would be Pistons plus 13.5. They have that at a 55% chance of hitting, which gives you a 3.5% edge. I have it sorted by the edge percentage, so you have the best bets at the top, and then it goes in descending order. You can filter it by all kinds of things. They offer these for money line, spreads, props, you name it. The third feature that I think a lot of you will be interested in is the touchdown predictor. So this is using the Thursday night game between the Packers and the Lions, and it shows you, based on their models, the probability that each of these players score a touchdown. Now, I do have a small idea for them, and we'll talk about this later at the end because they are including it. It's just not on the website, and that would be to convert the probability to fair odds. So I've done 2 for you. Tucker Kraft, if he's scoring 25% of the time, but the probability that he scores is 25%, his fair odds for this would be plus 300. So I would maybe recommend, if you're trusting these probabilities, to not play Tucker Kraft below plus 300. Same for Amon-Ra St. Brown, 38% would be plus 165. I actually looked, and both of these guys are lower than the numbers I provided here, which means I probably would stay away. My challenge or suggestion to Dimers would be to start adding the implied odds on the screen as well, just to make it that much easier for sports bettors. Next up is probably my favorite feature on this site. I'm going to give you an example for NBA. However, keep in mind, this is for every major professional sport, and it's the simulated box score. So if we look at the Pacers and Nets game that we looked at previously, it has the predicted score of 114 to 111. And not only that, it gives you like a 2K simulated game using their models to actually come up with the starting 5 in all of their statistics for every category. So how would I use this? The first thing is I would look at the spread, the money line, the total, all of it. Right now, the Pacers are minus 2. Well, according to their model, they win by 3. That's a little too close for me. I probably wouldn't do anything with it. The total is set at 225. That's exactly what the model predicts. I would stay away from it. So I would skip probably these major bets, but if we look at some props, what I did was just solely look at points for this example. They're projecting Siakam to score 22. Right now his line on FanDuel's 20.5. That's a 1.5 point difference. I would probably pass. Benedict Mathurin, same thing, too close to call, but now we look at Tyrese Halliburton, and they're projecting 21 points out of him, whereas on FanDuel you can get it at 17.5. Quite a bit bigger margin there. Miles Turner, 18 points projected. You can get over 15.5 at plus money, but the granddaddy of them all is TJ McConnell, 16 points projected according to Dimers, and his total is 11.5. That's a 4.5 point difference. That's almost 3 baskets, or it is 3 baskets. So that would be one that I would be very interested in. Now, again, my advice is maybe don't take this blindly. Maybe look through this. Also look at the trends. Also look at the matchup, right? This doesn't tell the entire story, but with a margin that significant, it definitely has my interest and would be something that I would be curious about, at the very least, making note of and tracking for a few weeks before I even put a dollar on it, just to kind of see how accurate these things are. The next feature is the parlay picker, and before we move on, I do want to say that oftentimes I'm outspoken about parlays. I understand their risk, and usually long term they are negative EV, or most people will lose in the long run betting parlays. Now, the positive is they're often good for the account health. What do I mean by that? If you are someone who bets parlays, you look like a recreational bettor. You look like a guy just having fun, all right? That can be a good thing for an account to avoid limits for longer. So before we talk about the parlay picker, I want to just tell you that I don't necessarily fully endorse blindly betting parlays, but I will show you this feature on their site. It allows you to do all kinds of cool things with it. It sorts by the sportsbook, so if you have FanDuel and DraftKings only, you can make sure you're only getting plays from there. You can sort by bet type, so maybe you are already limited and you can't bet player props. You can sort it by the main lines. You can sort it by how far away the game to be included is. You can sort by how many legs you want, from 2 all the way up to 6. And the coolest thing to me is the risk meter. If you want a lower risk parlay with shorter odds, easier to hit, you can move this slider down. If you want just an absolute monster ticket, you can slide this up to high risk. Then you hit generate, and it comes up with not only the best parlay from their models and their perceived edge that you have, but it tells you the best book to bet it on based on the odds. So for this example, Orlando to win, Naz Reid to hit 2 threes, and Damian Lillard to hit 4 threes. This one having a probability of 66% or a 13.5% edge. It tells you how much you have to bet, what the odds are.
The platform looks nice, and there's a lot of different tools, but it raises the question, like, quality over quantity. Yes, this is yes, they are doing something. But I wish there was a way, and again, I don't know how to actually formulate this, personally. But like, if there was a way to combine all of these approaches, strategies into one, as someone who's looking and still finding that tool that they want to use long term, it's hard to be so overwhelmed by different approaches and strategies. And it's like, well, how am I supposed to know which one to trust more than the other? I feel that it would be better to focus on one more than the other, because how am I supposed to know that I'm done betting if I can just keep continuously go, oh, okay, I'm done with this strategy. Now I can go to this one. And I'm firing my whole bankroll on an entire day. Even if I'm doing 1%, that's just 100 plays. There's no way that if I paid for premium that I wouldn't be able to find 100 bets to place within a day. And you're telling me that I'm supposed to be using my entire bankroll in one day? That doesn't seem right to me. So yes, this app Dimers has, what does it have?
Payout would be, and if you hit bet now, it actually opens up DraftKings and fills out the slip for you. So it's super easy. I know a lot of people like parlay, so
it has trends. It has best bets. It has touchdown predictors. Is that a simulated box score? As picker feature and a Discord. But what is actually going to be the one that is going to be more profitable? And whichever one is more profitable, why not just stick to that and make that one better and better and better? I don't know, maybe combine your projections with market consensus and try to come up with a statistically superior pairing of projection with market consensus to come up with your true projection, to then beat another specific book with this market and projection combination. But no, it's we've got a bunch of different tools that do a bunch of different things that can be profitable, but like they're not the best they could possibly be. I don't know. Easy for me to talk, not so easy for me to do. So I don't know.
You will be interested in. The last thing I want to talk about is the Dimers Pro Discord. I get it, guys. We're living in the land of Discords right now. Everybody has a Discord. Even people who shouldn't have a Discord have a Discord. They're charging you for it. They're promising you long shot, lottery locks, but that's not what this is. In fact, this is really cool, and it's free with your Dimers Pro subscription. My favorite part about this are all these data feeds that they offer. I know when we talked about the touchdown predictor, I said I wish they would provide you with the actual odds next to the probabilities. Well, look no further, okay? I made that before I had even come to this, so I have to correct myself in retrospect. Here is what they have, and this is really cool. All right, this was for the Thursday night games. They tell you that there is an 8.9% edge found on DraftKings for Nick Chubb to score at the odds of 165. So not only does it tell you your edge, it tells you the odds that you can get it at, and it tells you the book that it's on. I think that's a very cool feature, and it does this not only for NFL touchdowns, but all of these other different markets. Tonight, starting NBA first basket run, you have all of these value bets on the first basket scorers. Now, these don't list the sportsbook. It would be cool if they added those in, and they may at some point in time. So this is just another cool feature that comes with your Dimers Pro subscription. No additional cost, just more information, and honestly, a little bit easier to find. I know a lot of people already have Discord, so they're going to be on their phone, on the app anyway, and it would all be right there for you.
This is an old video. They got Nick Chubb at Cleveland.
By no means was this a completely exhaustive overview of Dimers. I just wanted to give you guys some basic information and some background to start you off. If you want to check out Dimers,
this was a cool old video. This was a year ago. Been eating with Dimers Pro. Not only am I profiting from their best bets, but the Discord itself is gold. Other avid bettors on there posting slips to tail. Dimers reps talking to you, giving them their input. She's posted daily. You know, I like that. I like that. I don't know how much it's catered to California with all of its limitations, you know. But we'll see, because I didn't see any mention about prediction markets. This was a year ago, so it wasn't as big of a deal. But let's see how the BetQL thing is. Let's see how that is. I did like Dimers. I'm not gonna lie. That seemed a little intriguing. BetQL, start placing bets with confidence. So the fact that I'm not seeing a lot is a little concerning. This guy has a little bit of
BetQL
pieces.
model also hates jinx because down on Texas, 7 wins. So Lockie was saying there's a chance, their ceiling is playoff. He wasn't making that prediction, but
This is BetQL. Dude, nobody knows about this? That's it. I think I'm going to try Dimers. Let me just ask them if Dimers is optimal for California. Is Dimers up to date for California platform do they offer prices for prediction? Yes, Dahmer is up to date for California laws and offers tools for prediction markets and DFS. Cool. That's it. I'm sold. I'm going to give Dimers a shot. Otherwise, this is the end of the stream. I heard it's optimal to keep it short and sweet and then post clips from it. So I hope this generates some views on short form platforms so I can get people in the stream. Appreciate everyone for joining.